Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Puffcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth.
I am Lemon.
And I'm Lucas Aurelius. Hello, everybody.
So today we're actually going to be discussing the new show on Disney Plus, WandaVision.
Whoa.
She handed it over to me. I'm, I guess, the resident Marvel expert. You know, I've read some of the books, and I've been following the movies since they came out. I think I saw, Incredible Hulk in the theaters when I was, 5. So, I've been following this for, over 10 years at this point.
I am the resident non-Marvel fan. I've only seen Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I did not like either of them.
How did you not like Guardians of the Galaxy?
I know, everyone likes it. Here's the thing, I watched it on a very long plane ride, so I feel like that affected my experience. But I don't know.
It's hard to believe that. It's hard to believe that someone can't like Guardians.
So I guess that would make you the intermediate
yes,
Marvel guy?
I am the intermediate person who's seen pretty much most of the movies, but have little to no idea what future lore or any comic lore.
Like I said, I'm the guy who tunes into Comic-Con every year and watches the presentation where they unveil their slate for the next 10 years. I'm like, oh my god, they announced Blade for 2024? And
I'm like, what's Blade?
So yeah, this is the first series on Disney Plus. They're going to be doing a lot more of these, especially during... I'm kind of serendipitous, actually, that they announced these, back in 2019, because obviously having streaming content is perfect for the current situation.
Yeah. Very necessary.
But, and of course they've delayed all their movie releases. This is the first time we've actually seen Marvel content in over a year.
Hey, remember when Black Widow was supposed to come out last year?
In May of last year? Don't remind me. I already got depression.
I was really looking forward to that movie.
The thing is, I wasn't looking forward to Black Widow, and then it got delayed so much, and now it's like a hyped up thing. Because I'm starved. I'm starved for content.
I think I truly am too. Yeah. I mean, this is something else, but at this point, I'm just watching reruns of shows.
I don't know. I think I talked about this last time, but I watch a lot. YouTube has become my main thing because it is a constant content stream. There's something to watch.
I have since watched multiple Scott the Woz videos, and I'm ready to talk about him, but not now.
Maybe we get a Scott the Woz special one day.
Who knows? Maybe you could get these Scott, however you pronounce his last name.
I disagree with him on most of his opinions.
Don't worry.
Really?
Don't worry. Okay. Opinions are made to be disagreed
A good topic for another time. Anyway,
lead.
Yeah, lead. So, WandaVision, the first 3 episodes have now dropped. We were actually going to do this in the first 2, but of course the new one came out just last night. I
watched the first episode. I did not really like it that much. And because I knew, I don't know anything about Marvel, so I'm really going into it blind. I knew it was going to be this 50s sitcom kind of thing. But I kept expecting more to happen, and I know this is all spoilers, by the way. But I know
we forgot to do a spoiler warning.
But they only had that one small bit with the guy choking at a dinner table. But
I think that's enough to keep you interested.
And the TV thing at the end.
I don't know if it was to me. I just was expecting more. And then
I think that small little bit at the end with the choking sequence is enough to let you know something's wrong with this whole thing. I want to see what's wrong with it.
And again, not to mention the actual monitor they get monitored on as the aspect ratio goes back to 16:9.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun. But then the second episode, I don't know. I really trying to form an opinion and have I guess I felt kind of overall too a little bit indifferent about the whole thing. I don't know why. I feel like I'm slightly intrigued to watch more, but at the same time, I could just abandon it.
Hey, I don't blame you if you want to abandon it. You haven't been a fan of Marvel. That's your own thing.
Yeah.
But and I think the reason that it's we're kind of at that point where it's kind of interesting is because Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, has described it's a 9-episode series, right? And he said the series is kind of 3 acts. So if timing, plays out normally, this would be the end of the first act right here. Mm-hmm. So this is the intrigue moment where
that's true.
This is your inciting incident just happened,
I enjoyed the 3rd episode a bit more actually. Just because with her, don't know, she has like this rapid pregnancy and then everything starts like going nuts. I found that like way more intriguing than just the, I don't know, the magic show thing of like the previous episode. And I get it, like that's their gimmick, is like trying to like make it in that style, but I just wasn't hooked initially. But now I think I'm a little bit more into it.
I'm a sucker for magic. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't like,
bro.
I like how we just kind of glossed over the second episode, went straight to the third.
Dude, I love that second episode. I don't know what it is about the second episode, but like it's just.
Can I guess?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Drunk Vision.
Drunk Vision. Yeah, Drunk Vision's a big part of it. Like, just the comedicness. Paul Bettany is a great comedic actor. I don't know if any of you have seen A Knight's Tale, but he's the Chaucer, like the announcer guy in that, and he does that beautifully. Yeah. And you know, the previous Marvel movies have had him playing a pretty lifeless, you know, android, and so seeing him like play this character in a much more lively way, kind of, you know, it's fun for me to see actors break out of their roles, you know, a little bit, and. You know, I think that episode shows the comedic chops of the series. But yeah, it was my favorite one, I think, so far. It was the magic episode.
It is my favorite because I'm just a sucker for magic and sorcery and close-up magic. You know, there is a difference, okay? 2 of those are completely fictional. One of them is, you know, lying. Yeah. One of them is just straight up lying. I love lying. Don't take that out of context.
We definitely will. That'll be the quote we put on top of the Instagram post. I love lying. Find out more in the next episode. That'll be the tagline. Anyway, so yeah, but your thoughts on the 3 episodes?
All right. Based on all 3 of them, like I said, second one's easily my favorite, and I did share my opinions on the first one, especially on that choking sequence. You know, I gotta say I agree with Elizabeth though that the first one, it was kind of boring, uneventful. But it showed you that this isn't gonna be your standard, you know, Marvel movie because they haven't done this before.
And I think it was smart that they released 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? So like because I think if they just released the one, no one would have stuck around for that.
No,
you know?
I mean even like me, I was like, what? I wanted to watch the second episode because I was like, okay,
yeah, it's already there.
So it's already here, and something has to happen.
Yeah.
And so,
like, where is this going? But and then. Of course, apparently critics got all 3 of them at once. Like, they were allowed to see the full.
Oh, really?
So, like,
really? They're gonna starve us of an extra.
Normal people had to wait a week, but you know, critics
are like, wow, 10 out of 10.
Which I understand why they did that too, is because it gives it.
Don't they usually give critics?
No, they usually give critics just the same. Thing just in advance. So I mean, I definitely agree that the first episode, you know, kind of needed that push.
Yeah.
Yes, episode 3. The last bit of that episode easily. That was one of the best parts of the series so far.
Agree.
Yeah, like the dude, like I don't know, bushwhacking into the wall.
Yeah.
Like he's like glitching out NPC from Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, 2077 Cyberpunk.
I don't know, like I've always found that idea intriguing. I have like a whole film about it coming out. You know, in a couple of months, and Luke knows about it. We're just like, what if reality is staged? Kind of very Truman Show-esque.
Yeah.
We're like, just like
it is kind of like the Truman Show.
Yeah, it is very. Well, like, spoilers for episode 3, but there's like a dome around them.
Yeah.
Like, where she's. And I assume it's Wanda that's controlling everything, kind of getting into my predictions,
right.
I guess, for the.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
For the series.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have revealed your predictions this early.
Well, here's my prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, so I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I was like, what's going on? So I went to, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there's things I don't know because I don't know who these characters are. So I went.
Did you watch one of those like 50 Easter eggs?
No, I did not. I read some articles and stuff like that, and I was like, okay.
Screen rant.
My first thought was like, oh well, I guess they're because I heard like Vision died in Infinity War, and so I'm like, okay, I guess like this is.
Yeah,
someone either put Wanda in this like virtual reality fantastical world or whatever in order to protect her, or she put herself there to like avoid the grief of losing Vision. So that's, I don't know, either the two for me. Now after watching the third episode, I feel like it's probably Wanda who put herself there, just because how she reacts to, like, you know, when people start finding out things, she's like, no, you're crazy and stuff like that. So
she rewinds.
You know,
she
and rewind. Yeah.
She pulls the bites the dust and just like reverses everything.
You see, she wouldn't get that reference.
No. Y'all are on another whole like.
Watch JoJo's.
JoJo's
Bizarre. In fact, add to all the listeners. Watch JoJo's.
Watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, especially Part 4, if you want to get that reference. Yeah. But don't skip it. Don't skip to it.
Yeah. First two parts are on Netflix. Anyway.
Okay.
Luke, your predictions first before I got a whole spiel. So
honestly, I don't ever go that far into the shows. Like, I don't predict what happens next.
Really?
You know me. I don't care about the future. I just roll on what's coming.
Yeah.
They put something in front of me? I guess I'll just have to wait until next week.
Yeah. I'm much more of a person who's like trying to figure out the show before the writers do, I guess. You know, like.
No, I'm not interested in finding things out before other people.
I
wait for other people to find things out for me, and then I go and steal what they say.
I don't know. So my thoughts on the show is I'm tying it back to a lot of the comic books. I'm not a huge reader of them, but like I do keep to date. Like I know the big storylines, and I try to stay informed on like what they might base them off of. You know, so like I think that this storyline is based on House of M, at least loosely. I know they can't do a lot of the stuff they did in House of M because they don't have the X-Men in there yet. But in House
emphasis on yet.
Yeah, they bought Fox a while ago, but so in that story, Wanda, a bunch of stuff happens to Wanda, a bunch of messed up stuff happens to Wanda, and she basically resets the universe and like decides that this is the way I want reality to be, and so it shall be. That's part of her powers, is she can just reshape reality at her whim. And because she was, made with the Infinity Stones in this timeline, I definitely think that she still has that ability to an extent.
We have seen her rewind time.
Yeah. So, and we saw like that bubble that Monica Rambeau gets launched out of at the end, or I think she's Geraldine in the show.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So we see that bubble. I think she has a very limited scope on what she can change, but she's basically turned this abandoned small town in America into her perfect little idea of what American life was like. Because, like I said, she's Eastern European. So, like, I think that she's just trying to build this perfect life for her and Vision, who she was romantically attached to before. And, of course, the two children are also from the comics, and I don't think they're going to go into any of the weird stuff with them. But, like, I definitely think that there's some organization, SWORD, as it's called, is containing this event to that bubble, maybe. But they're not like making her do it. She's doing it, and they're trying to figure out what she's doing, and how to stop it. Maybe Vision will come back at the end. Maybe he'll, go away with the rest of the construct that she's made. I kind of hope he'll come back just because I like Paul Bettany so much.
He's definitely my favorite.
But they changed his origin story where he's directly fueled by the Mind Stone. And of course, Thanos destroyed the stones with the stones.
He used the stones to destroy the stones, as he put it.
In Endgame.
So what's interesting to me is I feel like I view the whole, I guess because I'm not really into it, like the whole Marvel thing as like some like crazy, like, especially like the stuff that you're kind of like getting into, which we obviously also see in the show, as like, oh, that's like weird, like lore that only like a handful of people really dive into and know about. But like the show seems so like normal.
Yeah.
Like even just like the characters, it seems very mainstream. But then like I guess it might get way less.
I don't know. I think the term, what do you mean by mainstream?
I don't know. Just like very made for the casual audience of like not, you know what I mean? I guess I did not get, I mean, it's very different, but like, not a Avengers Endgame or like.
No.
Almost as if it could be, and obviously like it's supposed to be like a sitcom, but I feel like this could be on NBC. But even with the route they're taking it, like they're obviously going to go step away from the sitcom stuff, but it just seems very like for everyone.
Yeah, they released some teaser posters. Well, I did some research before this, and they did some teaser posters that went up into the 2000s. And if
wow.
and if we take the decades as, you know, like each episode, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
We know there's going to be 9 episodes. There's probably 3 episodes where they're not even going to have a decade of sitcoms to even base it off of.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what happens in those 3 episodes? Yeah, who knows?
I think that's when the actual movie starts.
Well, that's going to be the climax, you know, like
Yeah.
your big end. We also know this series ties into Doctor Strange too, which is called In the Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh.
Which great reference to In the Mouth of Madness, by the way. Great movie. Also, you should watch that. John Carpenter is a legend.
Oh my goodness. Can you go a full day without talking about John Carpenter?
No.
No, John Carpenter is a great filmmaker, and you should all watch most of his movies. I recommend The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York, In the Mouth of Madness, and you know everyone's seen Halloween, so I don't need to recommend that to you. But yeah, so like it's in the multiverse, so like I think it all ties into like that idea of the universe can change, and there are multiple versions of the universe, and where things are different, and you know they can start interacting with each other. Obviously, we saw that with in Endgame with time travel, and they mess up, and like a Loki from the past gets away. That Loki that got away is getting his own show. So like even though Loki's dead in the main continuity, so like you know they can play around with it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, back to just like
Yeah.
this show. So like I think this is obviously it's very different from what Marvel has done before, and it's kind of like a step in the new direction. I know earlier you mentioned about like now this is the 4th era or something. You want to talk about
4th
that?
phase. So phase 1 through 3 is what's known as the Infinity Saga, and that ended when you know they finished Thanos' big thing, because they've been building him up for 10 years. So it's time for them to build up a new villain, and whoever that may be, you know, for this arc of the.
My goodness, 10 years?
Yeah, I know. Right?
I feel old, but I'm not even 18 yet.
I know, right? Like.
Oh my
Are you
goodness.
No, I'm 17. I've been seeing this.
Wow,
movie.
y'all are.
I
I've
said
been
that
seeing
I'm
these
older
movies,
than
like I
you.
said, all my life though. Like it's crazy to think that like I saw a post-credits scene with a much pinker Thanos at the end of Avengers 1 in 2012. I was in like 3rd grade, and I saw the end of that story in 2019.
That's wild.
Like
yeah.
yeah.
Well, but you know, I think this is like a step in the maybe.
A new direction.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's the right one, but it's certainly a new one.
Well, I think we'll see a lot of new fans show up, and I think we'll. In comics, there's this trend of new number ones where like
no matter
comics
what,
have been going on for so long. You need to kind of reset and like give people jumping in points, you know, because there's so much
Exactly.
lower and backlog.
I mean, like that's how I feel with the whole Marvel thing, because I have a couple friends that are into it, and they're like, "Oh, you should get into it or try to," and I think they did maybe like 4 years ago, but like I literally like I think about it like, oh, maybe I should, but like I don't know where to start. There's like 20 like 5 movies or something crazy.
There's 2 places to start. You can either start with movie 1, which was Iron Man, or you can start with the first chronological movie, which was obviously in the 40s with Captain America.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's overwhelming. Especially, I don't know.
I mean, I imagine it would be a big undertaking, especially if you haven't seen any of them, because like I've said, I've been watching these movies as they come out, so it feels like you know they've always been there. I've always seen them, but like I can't imagine what watching 20 movies is like.
Yeah, I don't know.
that'd be one hell of a week.
I mean, I feel like I won't
Just marathon
truly.
all of them over a weekend.
Oh, God, I don't even
Oh.
think there's enough time.
Well,
Even if you
let's see.
kept the TV
Considering
on the whole
that the
time.
good majority of them are about 2.5 hours. And
2
you
hours.
Okay, well, fine, 2 hours.
So 2 times 20.
Okay, you could almost
That's
do it.
40.
That's
If
40.
you didn't sleep.
That's 40 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, but if you slept, that's about a weekend. If you just watch movies, and you slept, like that's it.
Well,
If you get 8 hours that weekend, then you
Well,
wasted
Friday
your
night
weekend.
plus Saturday plus Sunday, I think you could do it.
I wouldn't
anyway.
recommend doing it
No.
because
No,
you
it
still
sounds unhealthy.
no,
but
you'd probably
I think,
get a migraine.
I think what's interesting, so they're trying to do that. They're trying to open up new fans, trying to do something new, and also on a streaming service
Yeah.
in this sort of fashion.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is doing with The Mandalorian.
I feel like if it wasn't on Disney Plus and it was just on I don't know, some other streaming service, I don't think it would gain that much popularity because it doesn't have the Disney logo attached to it.
I don't know if it was a Netflix original. Everyone watched Daredevil. Daredevil was great.
I want to watch Daredevil.
It's
like,
good.
isn't he like a blind man?
It's also not canon, so you can watch it with no repercussions.
Well,
He says specifically looking towards Orsino.
I know. Anyway, but what was I gonna say? I don't know. It's just like with Star Wars, they just did the whole, tried to like relive the movies.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
new trilogy definitely was more of a failure than a success.
Well, we talked about this last.
Yeah, that
time.
was last
But,
week.
like, I
We
think
don't
this
need to
for
talk
Star
about
Wars-
Star Wars.
I think it's a step in the right direction to
With the
kind of.
Mandalorian, like
I think series like this and like that have been around for so long need to have these new.
Well, I've been
fresh
saying
ideas.
for years that especially for Star Wars, I like to see things we haven't we've never seen the underbelly of the Star Wars universe. We've
Yeah.
never seen the small character stories from really the Marvel. There's always been that big world-ending threat looming. So I think having smaller stories to tell really supports.
Me too.
Who's looking
Big
forward?
franchises.
Like another quick tangent. Who's looking forward to Kenobi whenever that comes out?
Oh, I love Ewan
Oh,
McGregor.
me neither.
I love Ewan McGregor, and I think that having an Obi-Wan Kenobi series is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think Disney Plus has a great
Like
deluge of content
Yeah,
on the way.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's
let's wrap
time
up.
to wrap up.
Yeah. Shame we didn't have anything funny happen.
I know, right?
It felt weird not having anything funny happen.
Well,
Then again,
This
this
is
is a more serious.
this is a much more hyper-focused topic. I'm gonna open up to our viewers, listeners.
Listeners.
They're
listeners.
Listeners. Viewers are on YouTube, but even then, they're listeners.
Yeah.
They're just staring at us like giving them a thumbs up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at you. We know what you're doing.
We're actually gonna do a photo shoot for the cover of this one. Anyway, so, but yeah, so I'm gonna open up to our listeners. Would you like to see more focused, on media, episodes like this, or should we stick to the more
All
broad things?
8 of you.
This is like
We
a.
want your contribution.
Yes, all 8 of you,
This
please.
is still a very
Oh,
new
we
thing.
lost
Like
one.
you said, there's only 8. There's only 8.
7 now. We just lost one.
Damn.
Oh.
But there's so I mean, this is only episode 3, so let us know what direction to take it. I know obviously we're open to suggestions.
Yeah.
I guess with that, that'll end it off. I have been kind of, I guess, a guest host. Does that?
Guest? You've
Well,
been here the entire
I guess I'm supposed to be
You're
usually
supposed
the
to be the
host,
host.
to get us
but
out of here.
you knew more about this one, so.
So I guess does that count as a guest host? I don't
No,
really count.
we're all
No,
the
Anyway.
a guest host is someone I don't
Literally
know.
at the beginning, we say, "We are your hosts." Blah blah
You-
blah.
you
Then we
said-
do.
We are all the hosts.
I just tune you out at the start.
Oh my God.
What? Oh, that's just rude.
Anyway.
That's so rude.
Okay,
How
okay.
dare you?
Anyway, I've been Lemon.
Oh, we're going in this direction.
Yeah.
Okay, then. This has been Lucas Aurelius.
And Elizabeth.
And,
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, arrivederci.